everyone, welcome to DSTE Presents Twin Peaks, Part 11. My name's John.
My name's Nick.
Hi Nick, good to see you again.
You too, John.
Another week.
Another episode.
Yeah, you've been away over the weekend.
I have, yeah.
Had a trip to Brussels, was it?
Brussels in Belgium, yeah.
Yeah, the reason I mention it is, a few weeks ago you went away to Krakow, was it? And you came across a Twin Peaks tattoo shop.
Yeah.
Any similar?
No, I didn't actually see anything like that, unfortunately.
Nothing Twin Peaks related?
I was looking out and everything.
No Dirty Cooper doing like bar work or anything? No,
nothing like that, no.
Oh, well. Good weekend though.
Oh yeah, fantastic, thank you.
You're going to go into that in detail on the main pod this week?
Yeah. You're going to have to listen out for, I think the film for this week is The Lost City of Z.
Yep, that's right.
But that might have to be confirmed. But
Yeah.
I think that is it. But you'll have to go and listen to that one for the full story on my Brussels trip.
Yeah, stay tuned to Don't Spoil the Ending main show, and you'll hear all about that the weekend. Sounds good. So, what were your overall feelings on this episode this week?
This was probably one of my favourite ones so far. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. A lot of things happened, didn't it? So
I really enjoyed it. It felt a bit like we were getting back on track after that mental episode 8, where everything went mad. It's took part 9 and 10 just to get things rolling again, and this is the one where I feel like we're back to where we were before that break, kind of thing. Yeah, so we'll just jump into it if you're okay with that.
Definitely, yeah.
I've got my notes here, and I flip-flop from week to week on whether to do it scene by scene or location by location. I did it location by location, then realised that there's only actually one point where it jumps back and forth between Twin Peaks and Buckhorn. But other than that, they pretty much cut it up into location for us with this one.
Yeah. Okay.
So we'll just go scene by scene if you're okay with that.
I'm perfectly happy with that, yeah.
Great stuff. Okay, we'll jump straight into it. We open with a group of kids playing catch.
Yeah, we do, yeah.
Throwing a baseball around in Twin Peaks. Well, technically, I think it's near the Fat Trout Trailer Park, I think.
Is that where it is, yeah?
I'm thinking so. There's a few trailers nearby and stuff, but a few kids playing catch. The ball goes a bit awry near to the main road. One of the kids runs after it and hears a noise near the bushes and spots Miriam, who last week we were debating whether she'd been just beaten up or whether she'd been killed by, is it Richard Horne?
Well, you thought, if I recall in last week's episode, you actually said you thought maybe she'd made a mistake, the actress, and she was just breathing.
You could see her breathing. So I thought at first that she'd been killed and the actor was just giving a bad performance, basically. Yeah. But now, as it turns out, for whatever reason, he left her alive. It seems a bit weird in the context of he was so bothered about getting the letter before it gets to Sheriff Truman. But he's not covered his tracks, he's left her alive, kind of thing.
No,
so
it seems a bit sloppy, really.
Yeah, so I don't know what his plan. Maybe he thought he killed her or something, I don't know. But
maybe.
Yeah, so I'm quite happy that Miriam's still alive because she seemed like quite a nice character. And to be killed off in such a brutal fashion.
I recall last week you mentioned that you seen him turn the gas on light the candle. So maybe
I saw him light the candle, and the camera panned past the hob.
So I'm wondering if maybe he thought that was going to do something.
Maybe, yeah, might be his plan, but
nothing happened.
Yeah, maybe he was crawled away injured.
You never know. In a future episode, we might go back to that trailer and it's blown up
and burnt out or something.
Because she managed to escape before it or something.
Yeah, maybe. Yes, well, that's all we get with Miriam this week, but we'll leave that there. Well, actually, we get a few calls later on to the police station. We get a shot of the woman working the telephones, taking calls. Do, yeah. Was any mention of Miriam there? I didn't notice anything.
No, I don't think that was about Miriam.
Something else once.
That was a scene later on that I'm sure we'll be coming across.
Yeah, we'll get on. Well, to be honest with you, we'll pretty much jump straight there. We cut to Becky, daughter of Shelley, taking a call at the trailer park. And it's to do with... I've got no idea who she's... I'm presuming she's talking to Stephen, maybe, or...
I think that's where I got... The impression I got, yeah.
And she's clearly in a rage, absolutely fuming.
Oh God, she was fuming, wasn't she?
She's probably on something at the time, maybe to alter her mood a bit. She was absolutely fuming, And we later learn it's because Stephen is having an affair, maybe? Is that
By the
what we're
looks
thinking?
of it,
Yeah.
Like, because I think there was a shot, wasn't there, where, like, Stephen was, like, hiding down some stairs in his, like, dressing gown.
Yeah.
With some, I think she was ginger.
Red-haired woman, yeah. So we're led to believe that Becky's annoyed because Stephen's they're married, I believe, and Stephen's having an affair. And Becky then gives her mum a call, calls Shelley at the diner, saying, I need your car, Stephen's got mine, I'm going to go over there and sort him out. I love this bit. Shelley turns up, and Becky just steals the car from her, basically.
I love that. She's knocking on the door, Becky kind of runs out, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Just dives straight in the car and starts driving.
And the bit where she's driving off and Shelley jumps on the front bonnet. Why she's doing this, I don't know.
I mean, she's obviously trying to stop her daughter, isn't she?
I suppose, but I mean, Becky, maybe she was on something because she didn't seem to care, did she? She flung the car around and Shelley went flying off the hood. I mean, it's quite nasty, the scene. Yeah. She went flying off the hood, but her shoes just popped off on the floor. Did you see that? She just bounced off the floor. Whee! It made me laugh, that. Just the way her shoes popped off. But
I mean, going back to what I think I said it last episode or the episode before, red shoes again.
Oh, I didn't put that connection there, but yeah, definitely red shoes. They go flying. She tumbles off onto the grass, and Becky just drives off in a rage. Carl Rod, the trailer park owner, spots Shelley, comes over. And immediately calls for help with like a silver flute.
It's like a
tin whistle.
Tin whistle. I love that. Like, she's like, "Oh, can you give me a lift?" And he goes, do you know? It was very reminiscent of. I think it's the new Premiere bit.
Yeah, like, Willy Wonka's got the to call the Oompa Loompas. That is weird. He blows Carl's like Batman or something. Got this Batmobile with like a radio in it or something. Calls through to the background, she has a gun, and Carl's like, oh god. We cut away from that then to Becky. She arrives at the apartment, trying to bang on the door, and the neighbour tells her, they're not in, they've left, I've seen them leave. And she just starts unloading the gun into the door. Oh yeah. Just randomly.
I think she shouts and she's like, fuck you, Stephen. So, like, I mean, what you're saying about her being under the influence of something, like, it's becoming more and more likely that she is, because like I don't see. I guess like if you found out your husband was cheating on you, you might get a bit ragey like that. But I don't know. It feels like it's somewhat drug related, maybe. Yeah,
maybe. So that's a bit weird. She shoots through the door. Did you mention then we get a shot of Stephen down the stairs
with like a woman, and like they're obviously both in like nightwear kind of thing.
Yeah, they're just always waiting for us to leave kind of thing. That's the end of this Twin Peaks section for now. We quickly jump to Buckhorn. You okay with that? Got anything more for Twin Peaks there, or?
No.
We jump over to Buckhorn, and this is where things get good. We meet up with Bill Hastings again, who's being driven by Gordon Cole, Tammy, Albert, Diane, and the local police sheriff. They drive them to the area, which is supposed to be the portal where Bill Hastings met Major Briggs.
Yeah.
So we turn up here, and the first thing you notice is they get out the car, and there's a woodsman watching from behind a building.
Yeah. I think they noticed it themselves, didn't they? Well, Albert and David Lynch's character.
Yeah, Gordon Cole.
I always forget his name.
Gordon and Albert spot him, and they're both like, what's going on there? And the character just flickers out of existence, flickers in, flickers out. And then we go from there to a really weird scene where Gordon walks up to the area, which is the portal.
Because Bill Hastings, he said, like, I went in about 15 feet or something, didn't he? So, like, I think Tammy was told to, like, cover them. While Albert went in a bit, just so he can kind of... I think he didn't need to go in as far, but then Cole obviously went in about the 15 feet.
Yeah.
And the scene you're about to...
That's where the portal starts to open in the sky, like it looks like a tornado, but first like a black tornado. Yeah. It gets larger and larger. And while Gordon Cole's interacting with this like weird portal tornado, there's a wide shot of them all stood there. And I love this. It's a really wide shot from behind. And it's just basically an old guy just waving his hands in the air, just going, oh. You know, it's that. Looks like an old guy just taking for a day out or something.
I love this scene actually because obviously like they've seen all this and like I think when he's up close and it's from his vision, like it's got kind of like a bit like tense music kind of thing. He's like that kind of thing, and like the camera's shaking everywhere, and like you say, it backs up to like a long shot, like a wide shot of everyone. And then it's kind of like nice music, like you say, as if it's like a nice day out for everyone.
Yeah, just cuts back and everyone stood there watching Gordon. He's just waving his hands around in there like an old mental guy. Like, oh. Love that. But then we cut back again up close to Gordon Cole, and he's having a vision of this weird tornado portal. And it feels like the important thing you're meant to take away from this is the shot of the woodsman lined up on the stairs.
Yeah.
Did you catch that? It's only literally a flicker of it. But there's 3 woodsmen on a staircase, which, whether that's the stairs up to the convenience store where they're meant to live, I don't know, or above the convenience store, I don't know, but really weird shot of that. Gordon's actually been taken into the portal and Albert has to pull him back to stop him from entering it.
He was kind of flickering out of existence, like the woodsman was before, kind of thing.
Almost as if he was going to go into that place. Albert pulls him back, and they spot a dead body off to the side.
They said someone, I presume, like Tanya or something.
The body, it was Ruth Davenport.
Was that Ruth Davenport?
Who I believe is the librarian that Bill Hastings was having an affair with, whose head turned up on Major Briggs's body.
There you go.
Yeah, so this is the body without the head.
So now we're just missing the final head.
Now we're just
Major Briggs's head.
We never found Major Briggs's head, did we? Yeah. So that's the one we're missing into. That's the one that's floating through time and space, I think. From that point, the camera cuts back to the police car. Bill Hastings is still waiting in the back seat, and we spot a woodsman creeping up to the car.
It's the same woodsman we've seen before, is it not?
I think so. Yeah, I think Diane spotted him, but didn't do anything about it.
This is where the whole what side she on comes into it again.
Yeah, is Diane evil? Is she working for Evil Cooper? We're going to find out, but I'm not liking the way it's heading.
I know, it's a shame, isn't it? But
yeah, so the woodsman creeps up. The sheriff is preoccupied with what Gordon and Albert are up to, and out of nowhere, there's like an explosion of blood in the back of the car. The sheriff absolutely shits himself.
He's got a big splatter of blood down his face.
Yeah.
Just dives out the car. I think he calls for help, doesn't he, on his radio?
Calls for help, wants backup. Gordon and Albert come over and take a look. What was the line? I think Gordon pretty much spells it out. Gordon just lays it out there. He's dead. So yeah, cheers, Gordon. He's got half his head missing.
I laughed at that bit because I think that was just before it kind of cut to the next scene, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's like an advert break or something. Yeah.
And he just kind of cut. He says that, and I was laughing my head off at that.
Yeah, I loved that. He's dead. Camera cuts over. He's only got half a head left, so no more Shaggy from Scooby Doo now. But what I find interesting is, I never really felt this before, but like the Woodsmen have got a thing about crushing heads, haven't they? We've seen that before. Going back to part 1, the thing that got out the box, like shredded the heads of those couples, and they look like Shaggy did after it had finished with them. It's just like a stump of a neck, like with a bit of chin left on, kind of thing. Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure that they weren't Woodsmen that did that, but just maybe it was. I don't know. We couldn't really make out what it was.
Yeah,
but
they didn't show us what it was, did it?
Oh no, sorry. That was the thing from the dream that spewed out the Bob bubble. I think it was called the Project or something like that. So I'm presuming that's what that is. But I just find it weird that the modus operandi is similar to the Woodsman. No head left afterwards, kind of thing.
I never considered that, but yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. I feel like I say this every week, but it feels like things are starting to tie together now. But every week they find a way to make it like tie less together. Yeah. So we pretty much finished with Buckhorn there. That's the final bit there. We jump back to Twin Peaks, where we're in the diner with Bobby, Shelley, and Becky.
I don't know if you mentioned it when we were last talking about it. Like, she actually called Bobby, didn't she, on that radio? That
Oh, so she did, yeah.
Which is why, because like this is literally the very first time in that last scene where we find out that it is definitely Bobby that is the father of Becky.
Yeah.
Because like she's like, oh, Bobby, she's stole my car kind of thing and all this.
Yeah.
But I don't think it tells you exactly, but you can pretty much presume at that point.
I think at that point that they say something like, he says, well, I'm your father, you know, like, we're going to deal with this or whatever.
That's in this scene at the cafe.
Oh, so yeah, this bit, at the diner. We've been speculating for weeks about like who the father is, and confirmation now it is Bobby.
Yeah.
So Leo got the old elbow by the look of it.
Yeah.
Back at the end of series 2.
Well, if you remember, Leo was
left with a spider.
and he was like throughout the entirety of season 2, he was incapacitated. Let's say.
Like in a coma-like state.
Until the end, he was with a spider.
So I think Leo's definitely gone bye-bye. And we're having this conversation, and basically I found it weird how Becky just showed no remorse whatsoever. Do you notice this? And then she looked over at Norma and almost like remembered, like, oh God, Mum, are you okay? You know, I flung you off the car.
Well, because it's as if Norma was like, go on, say something.
Yeah, as if like, you know, like pretend you care kind of thing.
I know,
yeah. So that was a bit weird. And Shelley just seemed to buy it completely. At this point, when they're hugging and reconciling, Balthazar Getty turns up at the window of the diner. I think it's called Red, maybe, the creepy dude from like a few episodes ago.
Yeah.
The one who put Richard on his path to run down that kid. Do you remember this? The drug dealer guy, whatever he is. Yeah, this is him, yeah. The guy who like had the magic coin and stuff. Do you remember that?
So now Shelley's dating. Oh God.
Dating a guy worse than Leo and Bobby combined, by the look of it.
She loves her rough guys.
Well, I feel like she likes the bad boys kind of thing, but I mean, there's bad boys, and then there's like
that.
Yeah. Then there's like evil magic dudes who deal drugs. Yeah. So Balthazar Getty gets her to come to the front of the diner and arranges a meet up in an apartment later on. Shelley, again, the characters seem so weird. Completely forgets the fact she's been dealing with a distraught daughter and stuff like.
Well, that's I found this to weird me because like they were hugging and like she was crying her eyes out. She's like, "No, you stay with me tonight. You stay with me tonight, okay?" And then as soon as she sees him, like it's as if like all the tears had just magically gone away, and she was fine, and she just went outside and started kissing that guy.
As if nothing happened, kind of thing.
Might be something to do with his magic. Maybe he actually did magic her tears away.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe Stephen's got the same kind of power with Becky or something.
Who knows? Yeah.
Yeah. So she comes back in, and out of nowhere, we get a couple of gunshots into the diner. Bobby's straight on the case, gets the gun out.
Yeah.
He leaves the diner, approaches like an SUV or something that's got a family in the front and
something like, well, it's got like the parents in the front and then like a kid at the back.
Yeah, and essentially we find out that the mother moved whatever's under her feet to the back of the car, claiming not realising it was a gun, and the kid just fired the gun because he looked like a little hunter dude, like his dad.
Oh yeah, like I found that quite a funny little thing because he's literally just his dad, wasn't he?
A little comparison, like you cut to the dad, he's got the baseball cap on and the camo gear and stuff. Yeah. You cut to the son, he's got the same stance completely with a little baseball cap and a camo jacket.
Bobby's face when he was looking at it was like, weird there.
Just taking in the weirdness kind of thing. And we go from there.
It only gets weirder.
It gets weirder. Starting with a police officer who we now know is Jesse. He was in a lot earlier when Andy and Lucy's son turned up. He came in to announce it and did this really weird pose when he came in. He was like, hey, your son's here.
Yeah.
And like here he turns up doing this weird pose and it's like, Bobby, I heard the gunshots. I was round at Big Ed's. Big Ed got a mention. Round at Big Ed's. Is there anything I can do? It reminds me of Elijah Wood. This guy.
I mean, we'll probably get to it in a bit in the later scene, but he does something really hilarious later on.
Lazy.
So, and that made me laugh as well. I was like, what?
It's like, again, the character thing, it's like he's acting. He is an actor. It's like an actor acted as a guy acting to be a policeman. Like,
yeah.
You know, the way he stood there like that with that stance. It's so weird. And he mentioned Big Ed. Loved Big Ed in the old show. I hope we get to see Big. It is Big Ed, isn't it? Who runs the Big Ed's gas stop or whatever it is. Nadina's husband. Hoping we get to see Big Ed sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
And we go from there to the car behind the incident is just beeping the horn furiously. Bobby goes around to see what's going on, and it's just some mad woman in the car screaming about how they have to get home. They've missed dinner. Is that right?
It's past 6 o'clock already. It's past 6 o'clock already. She's not seen her uncle or something in a while. She needs to see her, and she's sick. Essentially, is what she said.
Need to get there.
And we didn't know what we were on about. I when I seen this, I thought they were on like a convoy with a car in front.
Yeah, I thought they were going somewhere to get to the sick person.
Yeah.
And I've no idea what this is like. There's a child in the car seat next to her. Well, completely hidden down out of view.
It's like down in the
footwell kind of thing, yeah. And it emerges. Just, did it have like a line going into its mouth? You know, like a drip line kind of thing.
I feel like it had like green gunk kind of dripping out of its mouth.
And it just rose from the car seat. Just every one just spewing like green bile out the corner of its mouth. It's so weird. Like,
I honestly can't even fathom what that's about.
Yeah. I mean, going back to the Lynch thing, we've got to mention a lot. It's the Twin Peaks thing, isn't it? But we've mentioned a lot of what he likes and stuff. And I think on the Mulholland Drive episode, we said that he just has like ideas to do stuff. Not even so much it has to tie into anything. He'll just put things in there that he leaves you to make sense of because he doesn't know himself what it means. And I feel this is one of them moments. We'll probably never find out what that was.
Yeah.
He just thought it would be horrifying to have this weird image of this kid spewing out green bile down the side of the face.
Well, that's it, because it doesn't even make sense. Because like, if they're travelling from out of town, like, it's nothing to do with anything in Twin Peaks. So I'm not quite sure what the relevance of it is. So like, you're probably right, to be honest.
Yeah, no idea. Very strange, but we may never come back to it.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I'd enjoy it if we did, but I wouldn't be too bothered if we didn't come back to it. Because
I almost don't want to go back to it, to be honest. Just leave it as it is, kind of thing. So we go from there to Hawk and Sheriff Truman checking out a map in the Twin Peaks police station.
Yeah.
They're like mapping out their journey they're going to have to do, following the orders from Major Briggs that he left in that weird little whistle flute silver thing that Bobby opened.
Yeah.
They're checking out the map. And you might be able to help me remember here, but the point of this is Hawk mentions the black fire. He gets told by the log lady where you're going there is fire, I believe.
She does, yeah. Because while they're looking, they get a phone call from Margaret.
Yeah, from the log lady, yeah. And they mention where you're going there is fire. At this point, he's already told Sheriff Truman that the fire on the map merges with the black symbol.
Yeah, because there was...
Oh, the black corn, sorry.
There was black corn, which is obviously where the cornmeal comes from, I'm assuming.
Oh, I didn't even think of that. Garmonbozia. That's what it is.
That's what I mean.
The Garmonbozia is the black corn with fire, like black fire.
That's what I mean. Yeah. So, like, we've got, like, fire and the black corn. Yeah. Put together, you get black fire.
Called it black fire. I'm sure they mentioned black fire earlier in the show.
Have they? I don't recall.
I'll have to go back.
So, are we saying that this black fire is the Garmonbozia?
It's definitely tied to it. It's the Garmonbozia on fire, basically, like the pain and sorrow kind of thing. Yeah. So,
but, like, on that map as well, Sheriff Truman points to like it looks only like a little alien head, maybe.
Yeah.
He points to that, doesn't he?
We've mentioned this before. It's a little black symbol. To me, it looks like a black dog. I mean, it might not be. It could, like, it looks like an ant almost, maybe, or something.
Maybe, yeah.
A little weird head with like pointy out ears, but it could look like a Rottweiler head or something, maybe like a cartoon Rottweiler head with the ears flopping like.
Potentially, yeah.
The reason that's important is back in part 1, Evil Cooper showed a card to Dahlia, I think she was called, a woman that he killed. It was a playing card, and it had that symbol drawn on it. That black symbol with the ears drawn on it.
Yeah, I recall, yeah.
Yeah.
We've seen it quite a lot throughout, I think.
It's popped up a few times.
And the black dog relevance as well. Like, I know we've mentioned it in a previous episode, but you've mentioned, haven't you, how in the film
in the film, yep. The bit where you can hear on the soundtrack, the black dog runs at night. repeats a few times. Again, no idea what that means to this point, but if this was a black dog, not sure if it is or not, but if it was, it could tie into that. Like they're going to go and meet this black dog or whatever. So yeah, we've got that. We've got the black fire, and you mentioned then that Sheriff Truman asked what it is, and Hawk's just like, "You do not want to know what that is. Do not even ask."
I mean, see, like if I was Truman, and at this point, I would have said like, "Right, I get what you're saying. I don't want to know, but I really do want to know, because especially now you've just told me I don't want to know."
I love that, yeah.
But his reaction was just like, "Really?" And it's like, "Yeah, you definitely don't want to know what that is."
Maybe it's a character thing, like I was thinking, like you are. It's like, we've come this far, don't even ask about that. Okay, but I do kind of want to ask about that. But maybe it's a character thing in the they know each other that well that if Hawk tells you, do not even ask, it's you don't ask. Maybe it's one of them where they're so familiar with each other. A bit like the log lady, how you get people like Chad and this Jessie who wouldn't believe the log lady, yet Hawk and I presume Sheriff Truman know her that well that they know she has vital information for them, that kind of thing. Anybody else would brush it under the carpet, but they actually listen to her. And that's where we get the call from the log lady. And she mentions there's fire where you were going, which seems to be the important takeaway from that. This black fire, how it'll tie in, no idea, but it's got to be a big thing by the look of it. And I think we finish off this scene with, after this whole conversation, we get the Elijah Wood looking cop, Jesse.
The scene I was mentioning before.
Yeah.
Like, if I remember correctly, he basically just walks in and goes, "Sheriff Truman, I've got my new car outside if you'd like to see it." And you're just like, what? Who in the right mind will walk into the boss, like, let alone the sheriff of the police station, like, just saying, like, "Do you want to go and see my new car? I've got it parked outside."
Yeah. Maybe, I don't know, actually thinking about that's the kind of thing I might actually do. Go and show something off, like, but it's the way he does it. Pops his head in and does that weird stance through the door, like, and it's like, Sheriff, like, says, "I have a new car. Would you like to see it?" And Sheriff Truman's like, "No, you're okay, Jesse."
I mean, just came to my head now. So, like, it could be completely wrong. Probably is, to be fair. But the fact that he's like you say, he's kind of almost an actor who's acting a police officer. Maybe it's actually supposed to. I mean, just a theory coming out, just made up on the spot. But maybe it's just like it's supposed to be like a guy that's like, it's not actually a police officer, but it's like maybe like someone from the Black Lodge that's pretending to be a human and they've just not got it down.
That's a good shout, acting to be a policeman. Yeah,
he's just like he's just kind of. I mean, we might find out that he's one of. I mean, what would we call them? Demons.
Black Lodge residents, I think. Yeah, pretty much
something
people
like that.
Yeah,
but like we might find out that like he's one of them or something, and he's like the reason like he's so overacting with all the arm movements and weird things. He's got the wrong end of the stick when it comes to human interaction. Yeah,
maybe. Yeah. Going off from that as well, maybe it's a lot more simple in terms of just like he's not even a policeman, just a normal bloke who hangs around the police station dressed like a cop, and they all just go along with it, just just to let him do it, kind of thing. Maybe. That's why it's so overacting. Feels like a Twin Peaks kind of thing to do. Like, I'm totally off on a tangent here, but on Seinfeld, I mentioned to Winman, there's a bit where Kramer has been working at a place for like 2 years, and it turns out he wasn't even working there. He was just like going in every day. And it feels like that kind of goofy thing you could get away with that on Twin Peaks, maybe. Yeah, so after Jesse, we tie things up in Twin Peaks. We then go for one brief scene back in Buckhorn. Gordon, Diane, and Albert are having coffee and donuts in the sheriff's department there. I don't think there's really much to take from the scene, other than there's a photograph that they've taken of the Ruth Davenport's body, and there are coordinates on the arm.
Yeah.
And when they're looking at the photo, did you notice Diane intensely looking at it, trying to memorise the numbers almost?
Well, I think, like, I don't know if she said it a bit out loud or, like, she just mimed it, but, like, she definitely, like, was saying them.
Yeah.
Like miming them, or at least something. You know what
I think she was mouthing them, trying to remember them, and Albert caught her, and it's like,
like we already know that Albert doesn't trust her because it turns out that like they all know now that she's potentially
in on it,
with Evil Dale.
Yeah, I like the one little bit where she asks if she can smoke, and Albert's like, "Smoking is bad for you." Yeah, I know. Fuck you, Albert.
I think her response to that was actually, "Yeah, fuck you, Albert."
I love that. I love Albert. It's such a shame that Miguel Ferrer's died in real life. So that's is that all the information we need from that point? Really?
I don't think there's much more to get from that.
Yeah, they just enjoy some coffee and donuts. Yeah. That's pretty much it. And we then jump from there. We're on the home stretch now. We then go from there to Vegas, and we catch up with the boss. Is it Nolan Mullins? Is called or something? The boss guy of the insurance company.
Oh yeah, we do.
The former boxer. He's calling. Mullins is calling Dougie Cooper into his office. I love this. Dougie Cooper.
Sorry, I didn't. I just picked up on that. That's amazing.
Yeah, he calls Dougie in. And while he's doing that, he's doing these really shitty push-ups on his desk. Do you notice this? Must be like a 70-year-old bloke. And he's still trying to keep fit, but he's doing these really half-arsed push-ups on his desk. Yeah, don't even bother. Dougie gets led in there by following the coffee.
Well, I think he asks him in, doesn't he? He goes on the microphone and it's like, "Oh, Dougie, can you come and see my office?" And that little helper guy that's always following him around kind of thing. He's just like, "This is," I can't remember what he said his name was. "This is me. I've got your coffees. We'll be in a minute." Because obviously Dougie just. And then the best thing for me was you see him walking up and you just see Dougie Dale, whatever you want to call him, like kind of chasing the coffee, just
following the coffee all the way. Like he's got to lower him into the office with the coffee, then just turn around and go out once he's in there. Like he lures him into the office. Boss Mullins tells him that the Mitchums are so happy with the work you've done for them that they want to meet with you. And not only that, you can now give them the £30 million payout because I doubled down and got insurance myself on this payout. So we actually ended up being up in the end. We're getting more money back to pay out their insurance claim, which previously we were going to deny because of Tom Sizemore doing a fraudulent deal. He's outside watching this whole thing going on. And don't forget, he's been told that he's got to kill Dougie Cooper if the Mitchums don't do it. Yeah,
so that's bound to come on. But we'll carry on. We'll get back into what I was going to say in a bit, actually.
Yeah, no worries. So then he tells him you're going to meet up with them. They must be big fans of you. They're going to love you. Just give them the check, and all's good kind of thing. So they leave to go and meet them. And on the way out, Dougie Cooper is walking towards the front desk, and he can spot the one-armed man. Yeah,
you see in the red room, don't you see him in the red room? And and obviously his boss is just like, "Where you going?" And I think he goes into the room, doesn't he?
Walks off to the side.
I think the one-armed man's literally directing him to buy the pie.
Yeah, he's like this way, like that. He goes over that way. Next thing you know is they're outside getting into the limo. He has a massive box with him.
He does.
Way oversized.
He was very much oversized.
Yeah. Gives him the check, puts it in his top pocket, puts him in the car to go meet the Mitchums. So from there, we then cut to the Mitchums themselves in their Vegas pad. What you think at first is breakfast time. Because Robert Nepper, the Prison Break guy, is eating raisin something or other.
Raisin bran or something.
Raisin bran or something, yeah, eating a cereal. And while he's doing that, one of either Candy, Mandy or Sandy fills up the other cup with coffee and orange juice. And James Belushi comes out. And he starts eating his raisin bran as well.
Well, I don't think he actually eats it. He comes out, he pours it, puts the milk in it. And then he's just the look in his face, it's like, oh, can't be arsed eating it. Yeah. Because he's just so focused on his dream, which I'm assuming you're about to mention.
Oh, well, he mentions at first he can't eat it because it's so wound up. He just can't wait to kill Dougie Cooper.
Yeah,
I can't wait to kill him. And the brother's like, oh, can you wait 3 hours at least? It's 2:30. And you're like, 2:30 and they're eating breakfast. Like,
No, I thought that.
like, you know, even at least wait 3 hours. It's like, okay, I suppose. So, but then he starts telling him about his mad dream that he had the night before.
Yeah.
I don't think you learn anything at this point.
No,
I think he's like, I can't remember it, but it was a really vivid dream. And I think that's all we get from that scene. But I think we then cut to, again, going back to the limo, Dougie Jones is being driven into the desert.
He is, yeah.
We get a really nice weird cover of Viva Las Vegas over the top of this. He gets driven through Vegas into the desert. And before he gets there, the Mitchums are in the car waiting for him. And this is where James Belushi, it's like his dream's starting to come back to him. And it's like, in my dream, your cut was healed, your candy cut. In my dream, your candy cut was healed. And Robert Nepper's like, no, don't be daft, there's no way. And he takes the plaster off and it's completely healed.
Yeah.
And both like, oh my God.
Like, just before we get onto the next bit, like, I liked it in the car when they were driving along. And this is Dale and the driver. And the driver's like, oh yeah, I remember, red door.
Oh yeah, I like that. Yeah, red door. I mean, the limo driver must know he's taken him to his death or something.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, it's really weird.
But like Dale, I don't even think Dale responded with red door, did he? He was just like staring out the window at that point.
Yeah.
But I quite like that.
A little nod, like, yeah. That was quite good. And we then cut back to the desert. Dougie turns up with this massive box, stood in the middle of the desert.
Like the driver had to literally, like, I'd seen it. The driver had to actually pull his legs out of the car.
Had to help him out
like,
the car.
Come on, because he still doesn't know how to person. So
I love the fact just nobody's like getting onto the fact that he's clearly like catatonic kind of thing. Like, just everyone's treating him. They're going to kill him. You know what I mean? So weird. And this is the point where James Belushi spots the box and he's like, "Oh my God, my dream's come back to me." And he explains to Robert Nepper that if what was in my dream is in that box, we can't kill him. We cannot kill him. He's our friend. And Robert Nepper's like, "What are you talking about?" And he finally whispers it to him. What was in the box in the dream? Robert Nepper takes a gun out and holds him at gunpoint and says, "What is in that box? If it's a cherry pie in that box, you need to tell me right now." And Dougie Jones is like, "Cherry pie."
And obviously, what's the other guy's name? Sorry,
James Belushi. I don't know what the character names are, to be honest.
No, I don't. I mean, the brothers aren't they? So
yeah, the Mitchums.
That's it. The Mitchum brothers.
Yeah.
The other Mitchum. He goes and opens the box. He's like, "Oh my God, it's cherry pie." Well, I think he says it's pie anyway.
Yeah, he couldn't believe it. But Robert Nepper's still not buying it. It's like, frisk him now. So he pats him down, finds the check.
Well, he finds a letter, doesn't he? And he says, like, it's addressed to us.
Yeah.
It's like, open it, see what it says. And I think...
Did you notice this? I love this bit when he takes the check out and realises what it is. This look on his face is just like, oh my God.
I love that. Yeah. But there's literally, I think it's an envelope, isn't it? Addressed to the Mitchums, essentially. And he's like, oh, open it, see what it says, kind of thing. He opens it, it's like £30,000 or something.
$30 million.
$30 million.
Yeah.
I don't know why I said pound. It's obviously not pounds. $30 million. And that, like you say, that little interaction where they're to like, I thought that was amazing. That little, and there's like a little celebration, like,
and immediately like, we love this guy. He was their mortal enemy like 2 minutes ago, kind of thing. Yeah, I loved that. I think we're pretty much at the end now, to be honest with you. They then cut to they're eating like in a fine dining, eating in a fancy restaurant, and they're toasting Dougie Jones. Dougie's really like preoccupied with the piano player. I don't know what that was all about.
Well, it was weird because like they were playing one tune and then they changed to another. I don't.
Yeah.
Right. Correct me if I'm wrong, but like when I was reading online, I looked at a few things.
Yeah.
It wasn't Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, was it?
I couldn't tell you. I thought at first it'd be like a piano version of like Laura Palmer's theme or something like that, but it wasn't. No. I just don't know what it was, to be honest. But
I was like, because like I mean, I didn't look too much into it, but like because I recognised the piano player, and I don't know where from, but I recognised him, so I tried to like have a Google, see what I could find, and I think I seen that they might have been playing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. I don't know if this is just like I might be wrong, but like if that is true that it was Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, it might just be the fact that he's in a childhood state.
Yeah,
he's in very much a baby state kind of thing. So like he's just very much liking the sound of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, maybe. But
yeah, I mean, I found it weird that when the music changes, it's almost like symbolic of something, but I just don't know.
Yeah,
everything seems to slow down a bit, and he turns around and looks. The only thing that really happens is the old lady from the casino earlier on turns up. Her name on this episode was Lady Slot Addict. Lady Slot Addict. That was her credit.
That was amazing.
She turns up, she's like, "Oh, Mr. Jackpot!" Oh. She starts going mental, and she's like, "Oh, this is my son. You know, we finally got met up again for the first time in 20 years or whatever." Yeah, and she's just telling the Mitchums, "This is a very special man. You need to, you know, look after this man." And they're like, "Yeah, we know he's special."
And yes, I think she introduces her son, doesn't she? Like, this is my son, I've not seen him in 24 years or something.
Yeah, I've got my own house again now.
And all because of you pointing at me in the right direction. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And we go from there to, they bring cherry pie out. Excuse me, the cherry pie from the box. They bring it out and serve it up as like a toast for them. And when Dougie eats it, you get a little bit of the old Dale just going like, "Damn good." But that's all, you know, it's literally in the old Dale voice and everything, like not even like Dougie Jones doing it anymore. It's the old Dale voice, and just another little hint there of Dale coming back kind of thing.
So we are going to get him back eventually. Like, you're probably correct, it'll be in the final 2 episodes, but...
Well, I'm sure I mentioned like in episode 2 or 3, it'll probably like episode 15 or something, and we're nearly there.
I know.
Yeah. So I can't believe he's dragged it out for this long, but I'm enjoying it. You know, it's great. It doesn't bother me at all. And the episode ends on the piano player. Get that weird piano music comes back again for the finale. But yeah, that was it. Do you want to jump straight to ratings for the episode?
I mean, all I wanted to mention is like it's actually about previous episode because we're talking about the music at the end.
Yeah.
It was just one thing I forgot to mention last week.
Oh yeah.
And like, is that the guitar player on last week's episode was Moby, and I thought that was amazing. So like, that's why I was googling it today, like about the piano player. I was like, maybe this is like
another cameo, like
a cameo. I mean, I couldn't find anything on who it was, but.
So we should have mentioned that at the start. I forgot all about that.
No,
we said last week, didn't we? We were going to mention that, and I forgot all about it. Yeah,
I completely forgot. But like it kind of ties in what we were talking about at the end here. To be fair, because like I genuinely thought like this guy, because I can't picture where I know him from, but I knew that piano player from somewhere. So that's why I was googling it, because I feel like maybe like he's got Moby last week, maybe he's got
some like famous concert pianist or something like that.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, I mean, he is quite musical, David Lynch. He does his own music and stuff like that. Tammy Palmer is a musician, Agent Tammy Palmer. So it wouldn't surprise me if he had like one of his friends come along to, you know, like Moby, you know, his big mates with Marilyn Manson. So David Lynch, yeah,
might get a Marilyn Manson cameo.
Could do. He was in Lost Highway. He starred in that, Marilyn Manson, yeah. So he's done work with him before and stuff. I believe they've done a coffee table art book together.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, they've done that before, so he could turn up at some point.
Oh, maybe that'd be interesting.
A few weird cameos, but yes. Well, do you want to rate the episode?
By all means, yeah.
I'll let you go first. Mine's a bit boring, so.
I mean, I'm gonna. I mean, I'm probably going to give this another 5-star. It's like I've only given one before it, and that was
episode 8.
Episode 8. I'm going to give it a 5-star because this for me is probably like one of my favourite episodes of the season.
Yeah,
for everything that's happened, and like I feel like you say, a lot of things are starting to come together now. So like
finally starting to tie together. Yeah. And I feel like a lot of the new characters he's introducing are becoming really good, like the Mitchums. I think the Mitchum brothers.
That's what I mean, yeah.
Maybe they're done and dusted now. They might be not in the show anymore,
maybe.
But I've really enjoyed the Mitchum brothers. They've been really good. So,
same,
yeah, 5 stars for me as well. boring rating for me, but yeah, really enjoyed it.
I expected nothing less, John.
Yeah, pretty much 5 stars every week now. But
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think we're all done. I'll just quickly mention the social media. You can contact me at Taylor1980.
I can be found at DSTE Nick.
Yeah, and we're part of a main podcast called Don't Spoil the Ending. What's their Twitter handle again?
At DST Podcast.
Yeah, so you can hit us up over there as well. If you've got any feedback for the show, anything you want to tell us about, anything you think we've got wrong, by all means, the best thing to do is contact us on Twitter. But we've also got a Facebook page now,
which is facebook.com/DSTE podcast.
Yeah. So, again, me and Nick are both on that regularly. So if you want to hit us up over there, jump over there, send us a message. A 5-star review wouldn't go amiss either, to be honest with you. So, yeah, that'd be great. Anything more you want to mention, Nick?
No, I think that's everything.
All done. Okay, yeah. So, thanks for joining us for part 11. We'll be back next week, next Wednesday, with part 12.
Part 12, yeah.
Part 12. Great. Cheers, guys. See you then.
Thank you. Bye.
Cheers. Bye.